Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Handyman Business YouTube channel. It's been a long time. Something happened. Got something in the mail. Sitting there minding my own business and the UPS man drops off this thing. It is a YouTube play button for the Handyman Business YouTube channel. A lot of people have subscribed to this channel over the last two and a half months. And they're waiting. They're waiting for a new video. I'm going to try to put out a video a week. On this channel, there's going to be a wide range of discussion topics. I'm going to be answering your questions that are submitted through Instagram direct messages and through Patreon. Don't do email. The topics of discussion over the next few months are going to focus on the beginning stages of your self-employment business. And it doesn't have to be a handyman. Anything in the home services, all these things will apply. It's going to focus on getting customers. Getting to the point where you have more work than you can handle, and your biggest stress is not that you don't have enough work, but is how am I going to manage all this work? That's the bulk of my career. This is my 14th year. 14th? Yes, this is my 14th year, 100% self-employed. I've gone through a lot of phases and a lot of ups and downs, and I'm going to share everything I learned with you so that you don't make the mistakes. Maybe you can shorten your timeline to get to the point of a high level of financial security. That's the end goal, especially as self-employed guys. Financial security, financial safety. I'm gonna go to the questions. This one came in today. We're gonna start off with this one. Good morning. First off, thank you for all your videos. You have such great attitude and amazing content. You are truly the greatest handyman on the internet. Thank you. Appreciate that, Tyler. I've been wondering how you manage all your accounts with your business. I know what he's referring to. It's all my bank accounts. Now, at different phases of my career, I've managed my money differently. And I'm going to go through those as soon as I get to the end of this question. I know for a fact you save for future expenses, taxes, vacation, etc. I haven't seen any videos on how you decide how much to save for each. Tax is easy. That I'm able to manage. But how do you break down the percentages per job for each of these categories? I've been trying to fine-tune all of this, and it's leaving me scratching my head every time. I know you once said you save about 50% of what you get per job, but I'd love it if you went into this further. Thank you. This might be a long video. Maybe I should start up the Handyman podcast. Maybe I'll just transfer this into audio and put it out on Spotify. So I'm going to go back to year one. The Great Recession of 2008. Location, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I lived on a sailboat that I bought for $5,000. I think it's Hurricane Ike. Could be wrong on that one. Was scheduled to go right up the Atlantic coast of Florida. I drove on down and got there a few days before. And I went to go look at a boat that was for sale for $15,000. Out of my budget. Got there, the guy said, hey, you know what? Hurricane Ike's coming up here. This boat has to be out of this marina. I can't handle that amount of work. I'm taking care of my mother. She's in the hospital. Right now, you give me $5,000 in cash, and I sign this boat over to you. Done. Done deal. Where did Hurricane Ike go? Texas! It got to Miami and made a 90-degree turn and went off to Texas. And Handyman got himself a really nice $15,000 sailboat for $5,000. I brought all my tools with me, and I got a storage unit. I had a big truck, 8-foot bed, fiberglass cap on the back. All my tools were underneath a platform. I had a platform that went across the top of the bed. So above the bed, if you looked in, all you saw was a piece of plywood. Underneath that plywood, table saw, air compressor, lots of big plastic bins full of tools. Back then, I still had power tools that actually plugged into the wall. This is a long, long time ago. 14 years ago when I started this whole endeavor. I got a job working for a $100 bill a day for a slumlord. And I don't want to get too into the details, so I got to keep things clean. I learned a lot. I learned so much working for that slumlord. I got introduced to other slumlords and high-level slumlords. Those are discussions that we used to dabble in my old live streams. Most of them are available on my Patreon to rewatch. Back to the topic. What do you do with your money? Your income. I started making a name for myself amongst these slumlords who are quite wealthy. And they want me to work on their personal houses, not their cockroach-infested project housing. So now I'm on the ICW with no bridge restrictions, ocean access. Like Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, back then they all had houses right on the ICW in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They pay me in cash every week. My first savings system, self-employed, was the envelope system. I'd put money into an envelope. Once it got to $1,000, I'd seal it up and I would never touch it. No matter what. Even if I had to eat saltine crackers and ramen noodles, I was not opening that envelope. I had 14 of those envelopes. $14,000. So that was phase one. Phase two was, all right, we got to get serious about this. We got some money. We got a business. This is legit. Business accounts. Setting up an S corporation. I'm no longer in Fort Lauderdale. No longer in Florida. I'm in a new location where an S corporation is the only way to be self-employed. If you're in New York, not so good to be an S corporation. It's just okay. Where I'm at, S corporation is the only way to go. Business checking, business savings. Things are going good. I try to keep $5,000 in the business checking to buy materials, buy things, gas, fill up the truck, maintenance on the truck, savings account, saving for things, material things. Not my future. At this stage in my life and my career, knew nothing about investing. Had some decent money coming in, and I was pretty good at spending it on boats. For some reason, I love boats and being on the water. I bought another sailboat. I bought a 36-foot long mini yacht with a hallway and a bathtub. It still needed a lot of work. Most of my money went into the sailboat. We're going to skip over a large portion of time. Fast forward again. Got to get married. So I was able to buy my wife a very, very expensive engagement ring, way beyond most people's means, strictly handyman money. YouTube hadn't even started yet. Then I started to think about the future, retirement. So I got a traditional IRA and made monthly deposits of $500 into this traditional IRA. I log into my bank, I see my business checking, business savings. I might want to go on a vacation. I might want to buy a new truck. Let's open a few different savings accounts. So the next one I opened was to save for a nice vacation. Every month, I'm putting $1,700, maybe it's only $500, into that vacation savings account for a year. And then we take a really, really nice first-class airfare, nice rental car, nice condo on the beach, 2 different islands. So we've got multiple plane tickets. $12,000, $12,000 Hawaiian vacation. It was pretty decent. We only had to buy 2 plane tickets. It seems extravagant, but when you spread it out over 12 months, saving what you can, it's not that bad. I also needed a new pickup truck. Got a baby on the way. Can't be driving around this 300,000 mile pickup truck. I did the same thing, but I was making a little bit more. So maybe I was putting away $1,500, $1,700. One month may have put in $2,500 into my truck savings account. And I did that for maybe a year and a quarter, 14 months, 16 months. I was able to buy my pickup truck for cash. Didn't have to take out a loan, no interest, none of that. It was used, $42,000 pickup truck. What's interesting is that $42,000 pickup truck is probably worth in the mid to high 50s right now. So that is kind of the earlier part of my career. There is later on in the career of getting very serious about investing. That's a different video. That question was just about the accounts that I had. Another part of his question was, well, how do you decide what percent to put where? Keep in mind, all that happened before the pandemic. What we learned from the pandemic is you can get taken out of business real fast. You can find that your income vanishes, vaporizes like that before your eyes. So modern day times, I'm way more conservative on my spending and way more aggressive on my savings. This one came from Instagram, and it goes something along these lines. How do you deal with the down times. It's great when the phone's ringing off the hook and we've got a lot of work, but what do you do to survive, prepare, get through the months where the schedule doesn't align? If you lived in a certain part of the country, maybe you saw a large decrease in the demand for your work. You didn't make much money. How do you prepare for that? This is something that's very important for everybody who's self-employed. You have to save. Save, save, save. Live underneath your means. Earlier this year, I had a really, really good month. I wanted to reward myself. I wanted to go out and buy a brand new Polaris Ranger with air conditioning and heat and a back seat, but I didn't. I put all of it, 100%, into my savings, my long-term savings. Fast forward a few months, right now in July, I'm gonna have one of my lower months of 2022. And it's a little concerning, I got a little bit of tension, a little bit of anxiety, but I know that I put away a large chunk of money earlier in the year just for this reason, because I knew it was coming. It's always gonna come. Things go up and down, up and down. We are not an employee, we're not paid by the government, we don't have a steady income. We're going to have great months and we're going to have not so great months. And to survive the not so great months, both financially and mentally, you got to have a good stockpile. So that's my advice, is every good month you have, I wonder if I can actually go a little bit lower than what my means are and put all of this away. So when the next month comes around where the schedules don't align, maybe you're taking a vacation and you're just not going to make money that month. You've got that stockpile away because you knew it was going to come. Doesn't matter how good you are, they will come. Be prepared for them by saving on those high months. Mac submitted this question. I notice you do a lot of work for people who own properties and rent them out. I too have acquired some customers who have rental properties and I'm interested to know if you have any rental properties. Why or why not? It seems like it would be a good investment, especially by the time I retire. I've been thinking about buying a rental property more seriously lately and would appreciate any advice on your experience. So I do have a rental property. Someday I hope to have more. Right now I'm trying to get out of the city. And in order to do that, I've got to buy another house. So my next home purchase will be a very, very, very expensive one. And because I'm self-employed, I'm not going to take a loan out that the loan company says I can. Just because you can take out a, what do they call, super loans? Hey Google, what's a super loan?
On the website rocketmortgage.com, they say super conforming loans, which may also be referred to as high cost or high balance mortgages, are loans with higher loan limits specifically designed for areas where market demand has led to high home prices. I also found an answer to this question.
It's not worth the risk because I'm self-employed. You don't know what's going to happen. You slip, you fall, you break your back, you break your ankle, you sprain your ankle, you get sick. The income stops and you're stuck with a super jumbo loan. So I'm saving cash to put down on a multi-million-dollar house. It's just what it costs. Right now, there's this little voice in the back of my head that says,
relocate out of this ridiculously expensive state. Go to Alabama or Mississippi.
Those are the states where you get the most money for your dollar. Right now, I'm focused on my forever home where I'm going to raise my kids. Once that house is purchased, I will be focusing on buying rental houses. I do think rental properties are a very good investment for guys like us. We can fix anything. We've probably already been doing the legwork of getting leases signed. I got a video right now coming out where I'm delivering lease extensions to renters. I'm doing half the work for these property management companies as it is. Here's your lease extension. Sign it. All right. Pay your freaking rent. We're going to wrap this video up. I'm looking at the time counter. We're at 26 minutes. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment below, leave a question below. Like I said, I'm going to try to get into the routine of putting a video out once a week. So I'm going to try to get this video edited and uploaded by 8 p.m. tonight. Hopefully I'll see you tonight in the comments. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.